Hello everybody. So for today's video, gonna go really different. I never do political videos because I hate political videos. I just hate them. I'm not a huge fan of politics and all that jazz, but I feel, sorry my dog. I feel like right now with everything going on in the world, and some of the things that I've heard recently and also in the past, but more so recently, I feel like I needed to kind of address it and kind of break it down. And I'm obviously up front, I am white. So let me just get that out of the way so that you understand that my perspective is from that of a white person, but I also hope that you appreciate where I'm coming from. I'm also gonna try to make 2 videos on this. I figured to make the easier of the 2 first, and hopefully it'll kind of warm up the second conversation that's a little bit more controversial, leaning the same way, obviously, but a little more controversial than the first. So to get right into it, for today's video, I want to talk about basically white people and other races, whether it's Hispanic, African American, Native American, Asian, whatever people identify as, belittling the current situations of other ethnic groups. I'm going to speak from my perspective only, just because that's the perspective that I know. Even though I can try and understand others, I'm going to speak from mine solely, and be as respectful as possible. From my perspective, though, what I've seen a lot of white people do is we try and pull from our history, whether that's from Germanic descent, Irish, Scottish, wherever the white people all come from. I've just heard a lot, like we try and pull from our descent to justify the inaction that we take and to try and basically tear down and kind of vilify the actions that other groups take. And I fucking hate it. So something you'll hear a lot is white people will say, well, we were oppressed when we came here, X, Y, and Z happened to us. My family being from Ireland and Scotland, and also a lot of white people being from that same general area, I hear that a lot where, oh, you know, Irish people came over, they were discriminated against, some of them were slaves, they were treated badly, they couldn't get jobs, they were killed, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And like, I appreciate the fact that yes, there was struggle that came for people of my lineage, my heritage, as well as other ones. Like I appreciate that they went through that and that they have continued to progress and, you know, move past it. But at the end of the day, like holding someone to that standard when they're on different fucking tiers is absolute ridiculousness. So for myself, which I don't, but for myself to say like, oh, my family was Irish, they were persecuted, they had to change their name, they couldn't get jobs, blah, 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 blah. Like for me to say that, and it's only being said by me and other people to, like I said, belittle and vilify the actions of others. So what I mean is we're trying to say, and what white people are trying to say, like I said, I don't say it, but I've heard it be said around me so many times. It's used to say and belittle the idea of people that are African American or black, however they want to identify themselves, being upset still about slavery and still holding on to that shit. And at the end of the day, like, for you to take your shit, to take where you came from and try and tell someone else how the fuck they should feel, especially when it comes to like actual like big kid shit, it's not just like being in a relationship with someone and you think they should feel X, Y, and Z about what happened to them in their childhood. That's still fucked up. You should never tell someone how they should feel or how they should act when you haven't lived that shit and you can't explain it. I mean, coming from my own experience, like I said, it's as much empathy as I can give. Is I've lost a parent at a younger age. I lost my dad unexpectedly, to be quite honest. And if someone told me, hey man, you should feel X, Y, and Z about it, and you should do X, Y, and Z when they haven't lost a parent unexpectedly, I would look at them and be like, dude, fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You have no idea what I've gone through. And that's as much empathy as I can give, because I don't have family that's gone through that. I haven't personally gone through it. I obviously don't have friends that have gone through it as well, but obviously their families have. And for me to tell them how they should feel about their past and their ancestry and what's happened to their groups of people is fucked up. So not only are we trying to tell them how they should feel, but also basically like you need to get the fuck over it, and that's wrong as well, because it's still the same thing, like telling someone how they should feel and what they should do. The other big issue that I really have with it is people try and compare like these other things to it that are just so fucking far apart, and like I'm just tired of fucking hearing it, man. Like to sit there and say like, oh, we were persecuted when we came over and tried to, you know, immigrate to America. Like it's not the same thing, bro. Like these people's families, they didn't want to come here. They were fucking forced to come here. Your ass wasn't enslaved, their ass was enslaved. And then after they were fucking done being enslaved, they didn't have fucking rights, and they still could be fucking killed, hanged, fucking thrown in jail at any fucking time, bro. It's not the fucking same thing. Like, we sit here and people want to say, like, oh, we were persecuted when we came here. Fuck that, bro. Your ass wasn't enslaved. Your ass wasn't forced to fucking come here. Your ass wasn't fucking still discriminated against afterwards. You had rights much fucking sooner just based on the color of your fucking skin, even though a lot of those people's families had lived here for less fucking time just because they were fucking white, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you should never fucking tell someone how they should feel when you haven't lived that same experience. And at the end of the day, white people are trying to fucking justify that black people should just, or African American, excuse me, I fucking hate putting people in boxes, but I kind of have to for the fucking point of this video. White people or any other group saying that you should get over shit is just wrong. Well, like I said, whether it's in a relationship or when it comes to this kind of shit, you can't tell someone how to feel. You can't tell someone how to act, especially when your shit is fucking down here on the seriousness level and their shit's way the fuck up here. At the end of the day, like, I know this video is probably gonna get hated on by somebody, just by somebody, because I'm saying something wrong or blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, my point is like, if you have not lived someone else's shit or have not gone through it, at the end of the day, you can't tell someone how they should feel or how they should act, or they need to get the fuck over it. At the end of the day, though, like at the like deepest end of the day, you don't hear other people doing that shit, bro. You don't hear other people fucking like trying to justify it. Like, if you really think about it, like there are other ethnic groups, whatever you want to call them, in America who have gone through like equally bad or semi-equally bad or maybe even worse, depending on your point of view, persecution. Like, you don't hear Native Americans that lived here before us who literally were forced up their lands, murdered, raped, pillaged, all that shit. You don't hear them saying, oh, well, you know, us Native Americans, we had this, black people didn't get over it. No, because they fucking lived it, bro, so they don't have to say that. They understand the anger and the hurt and the problems that come with it and the generational issues. Like, they get that, so they don't say that shit. It's the same thing with, like, Jewish people. You don't hear people that are like, Jewish that have immigrated over here to the U.S., being like, oh, my family went through the Holocaust and they were held in concentration camps and they were persecuted and they were murdered, raped, pillaged, all that stuff. You don't hear them saying that either because they've lived it. So they're not going to tell someone else how to feel, even though those groups have lived it. And like white people really have not truly lived it for the most part, unless you're Jewish and you're white, and then it kind of just comes out in the wash. But at the end of the day, like the point of this whole video, as weird as it is for me, because coming from like the West Coast in a progressive, like liberal city, you still hear a lot of this shit. And I still hear it here in South Texas, obviously, as well. I just don't like the fact that anyone ever wants to tell someone how they should feel when they haven't lived that same experience, when they haven't gone through that shit. It's just wrong, bro. And you just trying to utilize your history to tell someone else how to feel is just shitty. It just shows that you're a shitty person and you can't handle the reality of this fucking situation. You can't comprehend what they have to go through. So you have to try and justify it and fucking make it sound less than and vilify their actions based on the fact that you don't want to deal with the reality of it, that they have to deal with the reality. You don't want to, so you try and fucking justify their negative actions, or I guess not justify, vilify their negative actions by trying to justify your own shit from your past. At the end of the day, I don't do these kind of videos, but like this shit's been on my brain. It's been bothering the fuck out of me. Like, I don't really curse this much either. But like when I'm really passionate, man, like I just can't like hold it. And I cannot handle another white person or anyone for that matter telling anyone else how to feel. And it makes me like emotional, like sad and passionate. But I can't handle anyone else saying like, you need to get over it. This happened to me. Like, you don't hear that from other groups who've already lived through bad shit. So for the love of God, bro, for the love of God, I haven't even said bro in any of my videos that I've already done. I have not said bro in any of these videos yet. But for the love of God, bro, love of God, people, like, stop. Just try and empathize and understand that, yeah, you may have had shit happen here, but this is still different from this. You can't compare the two. Just like I'm saying, like, you can't compare someone who went through the Holocaust to someone who went through slavery. Like, they're two different things. Like, they're equally evil shit, but they're different. So they don't do that to each other. So at the end of the day, like, this is a long video, so if you've made it, congratulations. If you didn't, that's okay. But at the end of the day, like, just stop. That's what I got. Like, my brain's still moving. I'm gonna make another video. It's gonna be more controversial, so if you didn't like this one, you sure as hell ain't gonna like the next one. If you did like this video or kind of liked it or appreciate the point of view that I'm trying to bring, which is that white people can kind of suck, and I know that I'm white, so I get what I'm saying. I get it. Then watch the next one. Hopefully you guys stay healthy and safe, and I will talk to everybody soon. Have a great day.